Evening, everyone. Hello to another edition of Boss Talk. I'm your host, Beverly Brister, and the owner of Beverly's Web Shop. I'm so glad that you stopped in tonight. And we have another great topic that we're talking about. All money is not good money. Just to let you know, I am live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. I can see your comments come through. And this should be a really good episode. I'm looking forward to it. So, thank you all for those of you who continue to watch and support. I really appreciate you. So, let's dive right in to all money is not good money. So, uh, you know that sometimes you want to make sure that you're um, making the sale, but you have these customers that are just sometimes over the top. They are demanding, and so many things going on where they just kind of sometimes you want to have an out of body experience with some of these customers, and you think that you have to take it, or you feel like, well, eventually it will turn into a good deal. But no, that's not the case. So um, there are four ways to tell when all money is not good money. And first, when your relationship with the client starts off contentiously and you're haggling all the time, and you find that you are every little thing, every step of the way that you are working with them, they are competing against you. They're competing with you. They're haggling with you on the price. They're talking about the what you're going to provide. They're talking about everything that you say you're going to do for them. They question it. So it's always this battle, this fight. So that's one way to tell when the money is not worth it, when that tends to happen. Secondly, when the money is not worth it, when you should not take the customer on, when oftentimes when they shop with you, when they only shop with you when you have a big sale or deep discounts or something that's always at a special rate. That's the only time that they come around, because they may not understand investment, and they may not understand that they have to put in something to get something out of it, and it's not always the sale, the bargain price, and the cheapest thing. And though we're not saying that your items and your products and services are cheap, you may have it for a particular time at a sale or a discount, which is fine. But when you notice the customers only come around at that time, that's an issue. That's something to keep in mind. Third, when the client has too many stipulations. Now, you telling them how things are going to run, how you're going to work together, but they want to change everything about the way that you guys are working together. They want to change the flow of how you're going to work with them. They want to change wording in your contract. They want to change how they want things to be delivered when it's off the way that you normally would deliver to them. Those are just red flags all over the place. So you want to be mindful of that. That is not it's not off to a good start when that happens. So you want to just make sure that if that happens, run. Next, uh, when they don't hear you, and when that happens, they're like, you're telling them, and you're the expert, you're telling them about what needs to happen. You're telling them how to utilize your product or service, but they are insistent on things happening the way that they want it. They're insistent that things go in the order that they want it to go in. They're even trying to change some things about the way you're delivering. You say you want to deliver the product, or you're trying to explain to them how to use your product or service, and they're just not hearing you. When they don't hear you, they're talking over you. You explain to them over and over the same thing, and they keep coming back to the same result of what they're saying, and they're really not listening to you. That's a red flag. That you just don't want to be involved with that client, and it's not worth it. You don't have to feel that just because you have your shingle out and you have a business that you have to take any and everything. That the customer, yes, we often say the customer is always right, but they do not have a right to be disrespectful. They do not have a right to offend you, and they do not have a right to just come in and bogart and change the way that you do business. So when you feel that way, or you're starting to experience that in your business, then you know what? They can walk right out the door. That is not the customer for you. Now, there are three ways that you can tell when the money is worth it. And it's a much better situation, I tell you. When the money is worth it is when you find that the client is asking a lot of questions, but they're quality questions. And you can tell, like, if you really, really listen to the client, um, you can tell that they're really asking about the how, the why, the details of what you're offering them, and they're trying to understand it and how it fits with them and their business. That is where, if they may ask a barrage of questions to make sure that it's a good fit, well, then that customer is possibly on the right path to becoming the right customer for you. If they continue to shop around, but you find that they keep coming back. They shop around again, then they come back. They shop around, then they come back. Well, that's saying that something about what you're saying to them and offering them is going to make a difference in their lives. So they find that there is a benefit, but they're just not sure. They maybe have to compare a few things to see if it's the investment would be worth it on their end. They may have to try it out, kick the tires around, try some other things. But you find that they keep coming back as they're shopping around. That is a great sign, because obviously you have something and you're saying something to them that is making sense as they're going and they're shopping around and they're comparing to what others are offering and what they're saying. But it seems as though what you have to offer is making better sense for them. So that gives you a great opportunity to really give you a more than one chance to sell your product or service directly to them, and to really make a difference in how your solution best fits them. So that is a good sign when they keep coming back and they do that. And lastly, sometimes you're in a working relationship where you're about to try to take the client on, but it seems like there's so much involved because maybe they're coming out of a bad situation from a previous situation. Yours is a better solution, but it's just so involved, a lot to deal with up front. But sometimes if you really look at the situation, if it's getting past the hurdles of the setup of what it is that you're needing to do for them, but you see that they have connections to other buyers, they have connections to the people you're trying to get to, they are connected with a whole other base of people that are just ripe for your product or service. Then as long as, again, keeping in mind that they're not disrespectful, they're not belligerent, and they're not coming in and just bogarting and not caring about you, the person, and what you're offering. If they are, their personality fits, and even though it's a lot involved maybe with the setup, and you see that there's this connection that can take place and be lucrative for you in the long run, then that can be a good situation there. There's been times where I've had clients that have come from really bad situations with their a web designer. They've taken off with their product, with their money, and everything else, and so they kind of come. By the time they get to me, they're worn out, worn down, and let me tell you, just not in a good place. And so, the questions that they ask are legit, like, what do I, when do I know when I get my product, or when do you deliver, and things like that. There's valid questions because they've been hurt and they've been taken for a ride before, and I'll answer them. And they've come to know that I am legit with what I offer, that I have integrity, that I deliver when I say I do, and that they feel more at ease, and the trust is built and starts there. And then next thing you know, they're a long time client. And I have several of those that have, a few that have started off rocky with other people and come to me and been in a bad place. But clients that I've had literally for 10, 15 years, and they have referred business to me over and over and over again because we've built that strong relationship and it's become lucrative for me in the long run. So that's just some things to keep in mind when deciding if the money is worth it. Now, if you've run across any sticky situations with other clients and you maybe not sure you handled it well, or you find that you're in a situation right now and not sure how to get out of it or how to best resolve it so that it's a win-win or at least a win for you and you come out of it you know, unscarred as best as possible. Let's talk about it. So at 7:35 p.m. this evening, I'll be doing a live Q&A on my Instagram channel where we're going to talk about sticky situations that you may be into right now that you want to learn how to get out of, and also like trying to, if you have other questions about when to take a client when it's not good for you, and some of the telltale signs that you're not sure that you're seeing, that you're hearing from them and seeing and experiencing, we could talk about those things too. So I'd love to do a live Q&A with you. Join me tonight on my Instagram channel at Beverly's Web Shop at 7:35 p.m. and we'll talk about it, live Q&A. You can ask your questions on the spot, or you can just put them in the comments in the chats, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So again, this is Boss Talk with All Money is Not Good Money, and we will have the live Q&A tonight at 7:35 p.m. on my Instagram channel. And thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you there. Let's talk about it.